Why isn't it manifesting? Am I doing something wrong? Am I doing this right? Am I using the right technique? Does this technique even work? These are the questions you ask yourself when you think you've done everything you need to, and that's a major emphasis on think. Truth be told, you have done everything you need to do, except this one thing. This one small thing is the final piece to the jigsaw. This one small thing will make everything click.
I am inevitable.
It is the only bridge to walking to your desired reality. It's detachment. It is letting go and letting God. Now, you probably see detachment videos all the time and you think that you know what detachment is and what it means to let go. You probably think it's about pretending not to care or trying to avoid thinking about your desire. And that's exactly why you still haven't manifested your desired reality. But it's not your fault. Most people have the wrong definition of detachment and see it the same way you do. But as you know, most people don't manifest what they want either. So you must recorrect your definition because it is the bridge to your desired reality. And if you don't fix your definitions, then you'll end up exactly like everybody else, and you don't want to be like them. I mean, that's why you're into manifestation in the first place, right? And misdirected definitions equals misdirected thinking, which equals misdirected energy, which equals a misdirected reality. And when you have the correct definition, when you truly know what it means to let go, everything will change, and that's a promise. But before that, knowing why detachment is the key is way more important than actually detaching. So here's why. Letting go isn't a physical action, it's actually a mental click, which is funny because you're so used to doing action, you think letting go is some type of action, but it's not. It's a mental click. And once that click goes off, then your desired reality is no longer desired, and it's just a reality. Take a sponge, for example. Trust me, it'll make sense. In its natural state, a sponge is light, receptive, and absorbent. In its unnatural state, it is restricted, limited, and squeezed. And you are no different from a sponge. When you're in your natural state, you're light, you're receptive, you're absorbent, all for your desired reality. But when you're in your unnatural state, you're pressured, you're restricted, and you're being squeezed, which makes it difficult to receive your desired reality. Now, the truth is, your desired reality has been waiting to come to you, but you insist on holding on to its meaning. And so, without realizing it, you're squeezing the sponge. And this is the mistake that everybody makes. And this is why nobody manifests what they want, because they're squeezing the sponge. If you want to manifest your desired reality, you must first be in an absorbent state so you can actually receive it when it's coming to you. And here's why you're struggling to detach. So the question is, how do I actually detach? I get the sponge thing. I get I need to be absorbent and receptive for my desired reality, but how the hell do I detach? And it's funny because I remember when I first started learning all this manifestation stuff, and I'd always hear people say, detach, detach, detach. But it always seemed so difficult. It's like, how could I detach from what I want when I really needed it? How do I detach from money when I need it to live? How do I detach from getting this job when I need it to survive? It always confused me until I finally figured out what it was. See, most people don't understand how reality works. For real, even people in the manifestation industry. And it makes sense because I really only began to understand this when I was about 6 years deep and about 250 books in. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do you want what you want? Let that settle. And here's the thing. The answer to that question holds the secret to detaching. Really let it sink in. And if you don't take it what I'm about to say, then everything you've been doing to manifest up until this point will be for nothing. Because here's the secret that's been in front of your face the whole time. Often, when we want more money, for example, or a career, or a partner, or a car, or a bag, or a certain level in business, we think it's because we want the thing itself, but that's not the truth. The truth is the only reason you'll ever want anything in life is because unconsciously, whether you realize it or not, it will give you some emotions that you're currently not experiencing. You might want to replay that. In fact, I'll get my editor to do a rewind. Whether you realize it or not, it will give you some emotions that you're currently not experiencing. From something as small as a burger to a mansion, you just want the emotions that you'll experience when you get it. For example, if I gave you 5,000 in Monopoly money, it wouldn't mean anything to you because you can't use it. And because you can't use it, you can't experience emotions from it, from spending it. Now, whether the burger example or a mansion, whether that's hunger or accomplishment, it's still an emotion, even if it's extremely subtle, and you really have to be quite introspective to realize this. Now, think about your desired reality. Think about it. Think about it deep enough, and what you'll discover is that you just want to feel something that you're not feeling now. Whether you want to be proud of yourself, whether you want to feel secure, whether you want peace of mind, whether you want love, whether you want to feel accomplished. On a base level, you just want to feel different. And when you truly realize this, then detaching is easy, because it's no longer about getting the thing itself. Because the thing itself, it doesn't matter if it has no value, if it has no meaning, because then it has no emotions and you won't want it. But what it's about is the emotions that you would feel in your desired reality now. And the thing about emotions is that you can trigger them right now, and luckily that's a great thing, because think about how you'd feel in your desired reality. If you can focus on that feeling and immerse yourself in it, then you won't need it anymore. And when you don't need it, then it'll be needy for you. Have you ever realized that? It's like when you wanted that person a lot, you know, they seem to run away, but then when you kind of acted nonchalant, it just came to you. Or it could have been, you know, when you let go of caring about the outcome of a particular thing. It's funny, right? And this is true detachment. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about understanding that you have the meaning. And we get conned into playing the game backwards. We get tricked into thinking we need the money, we need the career, we need the lifestyle, without realizing that when we stop needing it, it gets needy for you. Currently, you're kind of like a lighthouse that's looking for light, which is just ridiculous. And I promise you this, every successful person I know, and believe me, I know a lot, especially since I'm an esoteric advisor for entrepreneurs between the 5 to 7 figure per month range. So if that's you, I got a little gift for you in the description. But anyways, with all the successful people I know, promise you this, they don't care about their material possessions as much as you think they do. Do you know why? It's because they felt rich before the world could see it. They felt powerful before the world could see it. They felt successful before the world could see it. So eventually, when it all comes, it's just normal to them. It's like whatever. And true power is deciding to feel the emotions of your desired reality now so intensely that you no longer need to see reality change. When you can get to a point where you're good with it and you're good without it, that's when it will come. So choose your emotions wisely. Now, let me ask you a question. And this question is another one of those questions that will give you a light bulb moment, and it will actually put you on the path to getting to your desired reality. Here's the question. Do you want something that you already have? The question doesn't even make sense, because of course not. When you have something, you no longer want it. Think about the shoes you wanted, or the car, or the coat. You wanted it for a while. And then when you finally got it, the importance that you had placed upon it faded over time. You don't take care of it the same way. You know, when you first got those Jordans, you wouldn't step in puddles, or you get those white Air Forces, you wouldn't step in puddles, you wouldn't crease them. And then eventually you're wearing them to the shops, like the standard, right? And you don't take care of it the same way as you did when it was fresh, because it's normal now. It's whatever. And there's a secret lesson when it comes to manifestation in that. You want your desired reality. And that's exactly why you're never gonna get it. Kind of sounds backwards, right? Welcome to an annoying law of the universe. You can only have what you already have. And if you ain't got it, then you won't get it. I'm gonna get my editor to rewind that again. Well, welcome to an annoying law of the universe. You can only have what you already have. And if you ain't got it, then you won't get it. See, most people make the mistake of wanting their desire, but wanting is an indication that you don't have your desire. So the universe picks up on that and just reflects it, which means you don't have. And whether you realize it or not, you're always either wanting or having something. And more often than not, you're wanting, which is exactly why it hasn't manifested. If you want to never manifest your desired reality, then keep wanting. That's a guaranteed way of never getting it. You know, I've studied from multiple people, including Christ, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Krishna, and Buddha. And one thing that I love that the Buddha said is one of his 4 noble truths, right? One of them is, the root of suffering is attachment. And these words are so profound that they have an eternal truth that can be literally extrapolated to all aspects of life. And in this case, the attachment to your desire creates a frequency that repels you from it. That's the suffering. That's why it feels like sometimes you might get close, but it's running away from you. All the frustration, all the disappointment, all the worry that you're feeling when it comes to your desired reality is the result of attachment. And here's the easy way to find out if you're attached. Would you be fine if what you want never manifested? Now, if you said yes, then stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
And if you said no, then that's great, because now you're seeing clearly. The suffering that is your desired reality not manifesting results from your attachment to it. If your emotional state depends on your desired reality manifesting, then you're never going to manifest it, because you're missing the point. Manifestation isn't about changing reality. That's the definition of people who never manifest. And you should go check out my video on the 16 eternal truths of manifesting, because that will give you a bunch of laws that you've never heard of, including this one. Manifestation is about shifting internally to a state of mind where you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. That's its truest definition. And if your peace of mind and happiness is being held hostage until you see reality change the way you want, then you don't get it. And because you don't get it, you'll never get the reality you want. Letting go is about letting go of depriving yourself of the emotions that you'd experience in your desired reality, and knowing that it's being taken care of. Whether you want to call it God, the infinite intelligence, the source, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, it doesn't matter. But the moment you know that it's being taken care of and you can feel those emotions and that clicks internally, then you give yourself permission to actually be a sponge. Now, once you properly let go, you'll feel it click. It will almost feel like a light bulb moment after hearing this. But see, now everything is about to change for you, because for once, you're seeing clearly.